Hi, welcome to our very first lesson of learning how to play piano for worship. This is lesson 101. We'll start off all the way from the beginning in order to teach you. First and foremost, I'll introduce to you the piano. There's this section of keys that I want to introduce to you, and where my thumb and my last finger are on, this is the C key. Let me introduce to you one by one, and today we will only learn the C major keys, which means to say we'll only learn the white keys and not touch the black keys on top. The very first key, the C key, it sounds like this. The next key is the D key. It sounds like this. Next, the E key. Then the F key. Then the G key. Then the A key. Then the B key. And finally the C key again. If we are referring to this C and the C higher above, we can call it one octave above. So this C will be one octave above this C. Now, first things first, what have you realized about the alphabets from this C to that C? Okay, if you have said that there's no H and above, you're right, because it goes from C, D, E, F, G, and after G it goes back to A, B, and C again. Of course, if we continue, it'll just continue on and on in the same pattern. Now, the next thing is that I'm going to introduce to you chords. This lesson might be a bit fast-paced for those who are seeing the keyboard for the first time, so I recommend that you stop and pause and even go back to replay whatever that I have said in order to pick up the things that I've said earlier. Now, I'll introduce to you 4 chords today. The very first chord is the C major chord. The C major chord is made up of 3 notes, namely the C, the E, and the G. And together it sounds like this. The next thing I'm going to introduce to you is the A minor chord. The A minor chord is just moving your fingers from here 2 steps down, such that your thumb is on your A, and it's made out of A, C, and E. And the A minor chord sounds like this. The next chord I'll introduce to you is the F major chord. The F major chord is made up of using the A minor chord, moving your fingers down 2 again, and we hit the F key on the thumb. It's made out of F, A, and C, and it sounds like this. And lastly, the G major chord. The G major chord is just moving this up by 1, made out of G, B, and D. And it would sound like this when you play it together. Okay, at this point in time, I'd just like you to pause the video and just go back to refresh what the C major chord is made out of, the A minor chord, the F major chord, and the G major chord. Hope you have done that correctly. I'll just show you one time again. The C major chord, the A minor chord, the F major chord, and the G major chord. Alright, now let's move on to playing chords with both hands. Well, what would you do with your left hand? Actually, it's very straightforward. On the right hand, if you are playing the C major chord, on the left hand, I'll just do a double bass. What do I mean by a double bass? Is that I'll just play a C and another C 1 octave higher. Together with my right hand, it will sound like this. The next thing is that I'm going to show you the A minor chord played with both hands. So the A minor chord on the right hand, and the A minor double bass, which means made out of the A and the A on the left hand, sounds like this. The next chord is the F major chord. The F major chord on the right hand looks like this, and on the left hand, the double bass for F sounds like this. And lastly, the G major chord. The G major chord on the right hand looks like this, and of course on the left hand looks like a double bass, just like this. Alright, great. Now that you have learned all the 4 different chords, I'd just like you to pause the video once again and just practice playing the C major, A minor, F major, and G major with both hands by yourself. I hope you got that correct. Now let's just go through that one more time. This is the C major chord with both hands. And then the A minor chord, the F major chord, and lastly the G major chord. Fantastic. I hope you're as excited as I am, because you're going to learn your first song. This song, of course, is Still by Hillsong United, and I just simplified it down so that we can learn it together all the way from the basics. With this song, for the verse and the chorus, you'll only need these 4 different chords: the C major, the A minor, the F major, and the G major. I'll let you just take a look on screen right now with the scores that I've written for you so far. You can see that for worship we'll only play chords and we will not play no melody. The simple rationale is that there will be a worship leader and a backup singers that will be singing the melody, and we do not want to overpower them by playing the melody as well, and hence we only play chords. Now you can see on screen as well that there is a number beside. For example, C has a number with 4, A minor has a number with 4, and so on. And sometimes there's a number 2 over there. What I mean by that number is that it will be 2 beats worth of chords that you'll be playing. So for example, and let me just bring you back to the keyboard, it will look like this. If the C major is played with 4 counts, then this 4 counts would look like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and we lift it up. A minor with 4 counts looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and we lift it up. Okay, of course, if it's with 2 counts, let's say for example the F major chord with 2 counts looks like this: 1, 2, and we lift it up. Alright, very good. So now let's begin. I'll show you the score on screen so that you can follow at the same time, and we'll play together Still by Hillsong United with the simplified chords. What I'm going to do right now is just to switch on the metronome. The metronome is switched on to 75 beats per minute, and I encourage you to also get a metronome. You can download it on your iPhone, your smartphones, your Android or whatsoever, because playing with a metronome will help you to keep in tempo with the song of when you are playing for worship. Okay, so when we're ready, let's begin. And C, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, and A, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, G, 2, C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, G, 2, A, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, G, 2, C, 2, 3, 4, F2, G2, C2, 3, 4. How do you fare at it? I'm sure that at the first try, it was pretty difficult to change between the chords, especially because it was pretty fast in that sense. So I recommend that you go back and play it a few times until you're more familiar with this. If you're starting the keyboard all the way from the beginning, it would be hard to follow at first, but persevere and keep at it, and you'll get better. Lastly, I'll end off this video using those same chords, using the same video itself that we've recorded to show you how it sounds like when a flute melody comes in, so that you can understand and hear that we have actually played the whole song of Still with those simple chords. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.